Hey, you guys, it's your girl Dosh coming back to you from Real Takes. Thank you for tuning in on this Sunday afternoon. Hope you all are having a great weekend. Today, there is no movie review today. I decided I just wanted to do some good old movie news. I have quite a few different articles I want to discuss. So, with that said, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Now, the first one I'm going to be discussing actually it has to do with basically, you know how you have certain novels that are turned into movies, and sometimes it can be a novel that's been out for maybe a couple of years, or an upcoming novel that's just come out for a year, or it can be stuff that was done, predated, decades ago. Now, for this particular movie, this one actually, the novel has not even been released. And, word on the street is that, it's been picked up already to be produced by AKA Films. I'm actually excited for it because of the title, and let me go with the working title. It is titled My Sister the Serial Killer. And this is basically what the novel does look like for this particular movie. It's based off of the novel by Oyen Khan Braithwaite. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Excuse me if I'm not. Not a lot to say about the overall story. They have not released anything about that per se. But just to know that this novel is not going to be released until later in the year, going more into this coming fall. So I was actually intrigued by that. Plus the name of the title, and then the fact that it's going to be considered a slasher film has me peaked. So I'm all things, like I always tell you guys, horror, or even slasher films. Like I said, I like everything, but I said this has me excited for this particular movie, this film that's going to be produced by AKA Films, and I'm actually excited for this. It doesn't state who's actually been cast. It's just been picked up. Money's been already involved in regards to getting the rights to create this movie, and that speaks volumes about the novel. So I'm actually looking forward to getting my hands on the novel. I might have to read it before it comes out, but then I don't know if I want to have any idea because some people are about novels as well. When you're doing a reading a novel and then you see the movie, they don't stick too close to the novel. A lot of people kind of get in their feelings about it. They didn't do this, they don't do that, and there's only so much they can show within a movie of a 2 hour span, let alone maybe 2.5 hour span. So that plays a part as well. I will look forward to hearing a little bit more about the synopsis of this. They didn't have anything listed for it just yet. Just like I said, it hasn't been actually published yet. So hopefully, word of mouth over the summer, something might leak about information about it, and possibly them trying to put a cast together. That'll be nice. This will be basically dealing with Under Deadline. It was the one that reported this information about this, and this is going to be helmed as under production under a UK. So this is probably most likely will be done over there. I don't know exactly what locations they're assuming for this, but it has me enough intrigued that I'm actually excited to see this. So when I do get more information about this particular one, I will give you all a heads up on this. I'm going to keep tabs on this one because I am actually interested in seeing this. When this comes out in theaters, or if it happens, you never know. Nowadays, you can't tell. Sometimes they actually go straight on demand, or they sometimes will go on. And I know one Amazon, Netflix seems to be just racking in all the movies lately too, so that's a possibility. So you just never know. So like I said, I'll keep tabs on that one. So with that said, I'm gonna move on to another one that I'm actually intrigued with as well. Um, it does not have a really working title just yet, but it's starring Dakota Johnson. She's known from her 50 Shades of Grey. Also, another person that's going to be in the movie is Armie Hammer. Now, if you don't know him, he was in a movie called Call Me By Your Name that was actually nominated for an Oscar. Secondly, he was also in a movie that's coming out that I actually want to see called I Didn't Mean to Bother You, played by Lakeith Stansfield. He's the lead of the movie, and I'm actually excited to see the movie. So he's a busy guy as well. He was also in The Man Named Uncle. So he's been very busy doing a lot of movies. He's kind of, getting his name out there a little bit more. Also, another person's in this is Zazie Beetz. She plays Domino in Deadpool 2. She'll be in this movie as well. So we have quite a little eclectic little cast there, which is, coming off the cup. So I'm actually looking forward to that. So Dakota Johnson is at the helm. She's our girl from 50 Shades of Grey franchise. And then, of course, like I said, Armie Hammer, and then Babby Zees. So it doesn't tell a lot, but I will note they said the way the guy is putting it to be listed as up a random phone left at the bar. Now, they don't have a good title for it, but let me read the synopsis that they're throwing out there for a possibility of what the movie is going to be based around. The film follows a New Orleans bartender played by Armie Hammer, whose life begins to unravel after a series of disturbing and inexplicable events transpire when he picks up a phone left behind at the bar. That right there was a little bit that intrigued me enough that, okay, there's so many ways they could probably go with this. Okay, you're picking up the phone. Are you checking the text? the names, or you listen to voicemails, is this person, somebody who's, trying to be taken, off the radar. So let's leave our phone. They can't track me, whatever, and all that. And then whoever ends up with the phone, they're going to be trying to find, thinking, hence the actual person who it belongs to. Just so many different ways to go with it. That intrigues me enough that I'm extra interested. And of course, him playing the bartender, I'd like to know which character Dakota is going to play. And then, of course, BB, D's, which one Zazzy D, excuse me, will be playing as well. So I'm looking forward to this. It doesn't note when production begins, but they did give a date for release date. They're jumping the gun. It shows for a March 2019 release date. So that means sometime maybe this summer they'll start production on this. So I plan to keep tabs on this one as well because, like I said, Dakota, she's kind of picking up momentum doing other movie roles as opposed to just 50 Shades of Grey. And then, of course, like I said, Army Hammer's keeping busy. And now that we have Zazzy into the mix, she has this as her next, work that she's doing. So she's going to be promoting Deadpool 2 very soon. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. This one looks like this might be a little interesting one as well. And it does say that it's being produced by a company called Two and Two Pictures, and then also helmed by, let me get her name right. The director of this, his name is Babak Anvari. So she's writing and directing the actual movie. So I'm excited about that. So with that said, exactly, I will keep you all posted if I hear any more details about this. Whoever else might be added to the cast, you never know. But these are the three key players for this particular role. So that should actually be exciting. So with that said, moving on now, I have information about The Predator. Here we go again. Now, I talked about this earlier last year in regards to it. Now, they already have their cast together. We have quite a few different people in that. We have our buddy from Key and Peele Key's in it. We have quite a few people that are known in this particular movie. Now, I wasn't so sure how I felt about it being the simple fact that, of course, you all remember the original Predator. And then, of course, they tried to do the remake. And then it just came up to be where wasn't sure how I felt about the one that came out in 2010. Now that's the one that had Adrian Brody as the lead. Also, a quick person who was kind of like in and out of the movie was Lawrence Fishburne. He had like a small part in the movie because he was kind of caught off guard when I saw the movie at the theaters. There were a couple other people. Topher Gracer was in that. Topher Gracer was in that as well. And then also, there were some other individuals that are in it, not as well known, but just probably been in a couple other little movies or TV shows, whichever. But Adrian Brody was at the helm. Then when they did Alien versus Predator, of course, we enjoyed that. But then when they did Alien versus Predator Requiem, I didn't like that one. I'll tell you why. For the simple fact that when they did the movie and I went to the theaters, it was so dark the whole time. It was hard to see anything. So it kind of made it not as fun and exciting and very lackluster to me. But the 2010 one, it was all right. I was excited about the simple fact that, okay, if you talk about the premise of the movie, they're all are in the air and they're coming down. They're like, like almost like they're flying to the death to end up on this island of sorts. And they all have to fend for themselves. Some of them team up to help each other because they don't know where they are, what's on this island. Anything could be on here. There to hunt them, shoot them down. They've been left there and they were basically used as hunting by the predators. They were there, for even if it's to say, to do their regular rituals where they skin them alive and everything known to man. So now with this particular one, this one is actually, like I stated before, is co-written and directed by Shane Black. He actually was at the helm of Iron Man 3. He's in this particular one as director and writing. And then also for the simple fact that if anybody remembers, he was in the first Predator movie. And let me make sure because I remember his name was Hawkins. He played the character. He was the first one to get killed. Let me just put it like that. That's another way for you all to probably have a memory of the actual movie. So, and I love the first one. I tell you, it's a lot when you want to do a reboot. Now, this particular reboot, a lot of people said when they're doing the reshoots for the simple fact that they did a testing recently. And for some reason, a lot of people weren't particularly liking because it might have been too much action and too much comedy. Now, I know from Iron Man 3, yeah, I can see where they're saying it because if he was at the helm and directed that, he had a little bit of that as well in that too. They bring the funny and then they bring the action. Same thing with him because he directed the Mr. Nice Guy as well, and I actually like that too. So I don't know why that would be a problem. It's like, okay, we know it's action, it's going to be some bloodshed or whatever. But then if you have our buddy Key from Key and Peele, comedy skits, whatever, you're gonna have your comedy. So they gotta lighten it up, lighthearted a little bit throughout the movie here and there, which is fine for me. I don't really have a problem with that. All I ask is that they need to have some good daggone action in this movie. Now, if I recall what they stated, Let me kind of read off of what it says. These are going to be like some army vet guys who are on in the midst of going somewhere. I think they're going to some sort of kind of like an asylum place where they're getting some treatment, all, but then they hear about this alien that shows up where somebody brings it to their attention. They decide to go out searching and seeking to see what exactly they're talking about, because they think it's all made up, and that's when they come across a predator, and then of course they're fighting to get rid of him, whatever, because they don't know what kind of what he's going to cause for in regards to havoc. And of course you already know he's somewhere in an area he doesn't know, a particular Earth, and he doesn't know where he's at. He's going to be on survival mode. So, and that's hence where all the good old action and a little bit of comedy is going to come into play. So I don't understand what the problem was with the people who actually saw it recently. But if whatever reshoots they need, if they feel like they can perfect it, then by all means do that. I'm actually excited to see this, and I'm hoping it is really good, because the amount of people they have cast in this is good. Now, they were kind of hesitant, I'd heard previously, because when Alien Covenant came out last year, a lot of people did not like the way that was. I was included. I did not like the way they did the aliens in that particular movie, for the simple fact that it was only two aliens. The transformation was too quick, in my personal opinion, and it just didn't flush out, where it took a little bit of time. It was just like it happened rapidly, so fast. And it just, overall storyline, I will say this: I did enjoy the part between the droids, between Michael Fassbender playing the good one, and then the cunning, evil one. But other than the overall story of it was not good. So I don't know if they're planning to do another one for that one. But I think they're trying to see if everybody's kind of doing some sort of like a reimaging or revamp or reboot of some of these movies that we have. That's very nostalgic. To me personally, you got to really come with it. Just like I said last weekend with Terminator 6, I'm excited. And I think more of the reasons why I'm excited, besides Arnold Schwarzenegger coming back, I'm excited because Linda Hamilton's coming back. So that makes me excited to see it. So with that said, the thing they stated for the release date for this particular one is September 14th of this year. They have changed the date a little bit. So first it was supposed to be July, August. Now it's been pushed to September. So let's hope that sticks this time. And this should hopefully be the last time. They say they're going to be releasing the actual trailer very soon. I'm hoping either, if not April, by May, because we're getting close. In September, before you know it, the summer is going to go right by, and then we'll be right in the beginning of Labor Day, and then September will be amongst us. So I'll keep you guys posted on that as well. The other thing that I'm hearing with John Wick, Chapter 3, of course, starring Keanu Reeves. I'm excited for that. Now, everybody saw the first one, and of course, here we go with, what is it? The third installment. I saw the first one, but I did not see all of the second one. Don't hold it against me, you guys. I saw scenes with him and Common, who was in the second one, but I'll remedy that before the third one. So with him, there is talks that they have a lot of different locations they're going to. One of the locations that's being added is location of Japan. Now, there's a particular actor who was in Wolverine, and let me get his name right, Hiroyaku Sanada. My apologies if I'm saying it wrong. He was in the Wolverine. I remember him very vividly. Hopefully, if he's on board, that definitely means that they'll probably be doing some location shoots for him and scenes with him going to Japan to see him, because they state that that's probably one of the locations that John Wick will be going to. The other locations that are thrown out there as well are Spain, Russia, Jerusalem, and then of course it's played by, as they say, Morocco. So it might not be Jerusalem, it'll probably most likely Morocco they'll be actually going to. So I'm actually excited to see what's going to happen with that. The franchise, as they stated in the article, they weren't sure if this was going to be so good that it would, take a life on its own, but everybody loved it. His diehard fans, that I remember the first one, and I will tell you this, I went and saw it twice, and then I loved it so much when it came out on DVD, and I watched it quite a bit when it first came out on DVD at home. So I am a fan of it. That's why I said I will fix that John Wick number 2 issue there as well. But with that, the whole point of this, with that Japanese portion of John Wick 3rd, the Chapter 3 version, from what they're stating is they're going to see if Yakuza fits into the underworld of assassin and professional killers established, to explore more with John Wick's character, so we can learn more to flush him out, because they're trying to have more of an understanding of him, his overall purpose. We understood what he was doing in the first one, But then, of course, like I said, I didn't see the second one enough to kind of understand what's going on, but I plan to see that because I want to see what's going to be happening when they get to chapter three. So that is the part that I'm actually looking to, and they want to keep more with the franchise, the comic book part, of it. So if they're doing that, and like I said, they have a very loyal fan base. People really like this John Wick, and they love that Keanu Reeves is playing this character. So I know they want to have a good movie for the third installment of this movie. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that as well, and I'm looking forward to seeing who else is going to be cast. I don't know too many other people that are going to be cast as of right now. I know he did want Tilda Swinton to be in this movie. Don't know if she's actually in it. A lot of stuff is under wraps about, as well as the locations. I threw those out there because there are all talks, not definite, but if they're considering that particular actor to be on board, it's a possibility we'll be doing some scenes shot there, or just have location scenes done, and then of course just do it where Hollywood standards, make it look like he was there, the deal with that. So now for this one, it does state that it's going to be coming out in May of next year. Yay, my birthday month. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. It says May 17th of 2019. So we have a good year away. So if they're doing any type of production, it'll most likely happen throughout the summer going into fall, and probably most likely wrapped up by the end of the year, so they can do production, getting it ready to throw out that first trailer, probably most likely January, maybe. Might be before around Christmas time, maybe January to start the new year. So I'm excited for that, and I'm glad because I'm looking forward to seeing it. So, like I said, I'll get on 2 so I can be ready for 3. So, with that said, let me move on. Now, everybody hopefully has seen the new trailer for Avengers Infinity War. Can I just say, are we excited for one of the best villains ever coming out for 018? And is our good old buddy Thanos, played by Josh Brolin. I'm actually excited because this, from what I've been reading, online, they're considering this to be some sort of like a origin story for Thanos. Now, if you saw the trailer, you saw a little bit of scenes of him, with his younger daughter played by Zoe Saldana. So, he has 2 daughters. We don't know a lot about him, and I'm looking forward to seeing information about him. They said he's supposed to be in this one, Infinity War, and as well as the Avengers, I think 4 movies. So hopefully we will see him shortly, and then they will show more information into him, because they didn't show too much in the Guardians of the Galaxy. You saw the ship passing by, whichever, and all that, but then you didn't have kind of idea what was going on, whatever, and all. Just heads up, because they do those little scenes at the end of the movies for us to kind of stay back and kind of notice what's happening, what's really going on. And I don't mind that, because I think it's actually fun, because then it gives you an insight in what's going to be in the next Marvel movie as it moves along within, the phases that they're doing. And since we have this one, and I always stated from last couple of weeks that, this is this one, and then we have Ant-Man and Wasp. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to be on this one, because another thing that's out on the street in regards to Thanos is the simple fact that, okay, who's going to die? I'm trying my best to see no spoilers. I pray that nobody spoils it. I have a friend who will be here with me when I do my review on Infinity Wars. He's a comic book reader. He knows, he's being respectful and not telling me. My boy Sly will be here with me, and we're going to talk all things Infinity War, and we're going to, just get in the meat of the movie, of course, and then I'm going to let him kind of, put some stuff out there, but be respectful, because I don't want to spoil it, because I know a lot of people are going to go see it. So I don't want to take that away from you guys. You all deserve to see it for yourself, and then get your own feelings. I don't want somebody to ruin it for it, and we will not be the ones ruining it. If somebody else does it out there, I have no control over that. So, but I will say this: there were some people talking to some of the people who are screenwriters of it, Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely. They asked him a couple questions. I'm gonna throw that out real quick. One of the questions was, how long does it take for Thanos to take to the screen? They said, okay, well, it took really 18 movies, but it says, we won't tell you exactly, but you're going to get Thanos, and you're not going to feel like we've continued to jerk you guys around and kept him in check. And later in the interview, when he asked Marvel's rough track record with fleshing out motivated villains, he says, yes, one of the big challenges is to make sure he's not just a relentless machine collecting stones like he's going shopping. So we want to give him a full-weighted emotional story. You can kind of say this is Thanos' origin story, so that he will get the weight of any of the previous heroes in terms of the decisions he has to make in order to get what he wants. And I'm actually kind of liking that. So, with aliens that attacked in New York City, all the other things that happened, so we're going to get more of an understanding. So I like that he's not going to be just, I just want to rule everything, because I can. And honestly, with the powers he's supposed to be showcasing in the movie, you would think that would be his type of mindset. But I think he has a bigger picture. Plus, they always bring up who is he working for? Why is he making these choices? Is it just him, or is it someone else he works for as well? So there's a lot to be answered, and I'm actually looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to seeing him just get into all the characters. I want to see him go up against Hulk. I'm just looking forward to it. I tell you, April 27th, excuse me, I forgot they switched from May 4th. Let me rectify that. So yeah, April 27th can't come fast enough. I'm looking forward to seeing Thanos do his thing. And it's just going to be a great movie. It's just going to do its thing. So, I'm glad Black Panther came out when it did, because now Avengers is here and now they're about to take over. So, moving along. The next order information I'm going to talk about is the remake of Scarface. Now, I'm going to tell you, I talked about this last year. I was none too happy about this because I heard that Antoine Fuqua was a helm to this. I'm a fan of this one. Now, this isn't the first Scarface. The original was made back in 1932 by a guy by the name of Howard Hughes. But the one that everybody loves, as you see from behind me, is the one that came out in 1983, starring Al Pacino, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Stephen Barr. I love that one so much so, if you know some people, they got the poster. They're probably hanging in their walls. He did a stellar position playing, this gangster, in this particular movie. Al Pacino is awesome. He's one of my favorite actors. And Antoine did leave, but now it looks like he's back. I'm hoping he's made a decision. He's going to stay on board, because I don't know if he was feeling the pressure, because that's some big shoes to fill with this particular movie. We all can say whatever we want, but that's a lot to home at the helm, because it's going to get critiqued over and over again, the comparisons with the 1983 one. Now, the thing that's coming up now is who is being considered, and the names are Diego Luna and Gael Garcia Bernal. They're both very well-known actors. They are great. They're great at their work. I'm a fan of both of their work, and they have a plethora of work. It could be either or. Diego Luna is still considered on the chopping to be in the movie, but they said if he just decide to not do it, Gael Garcia could be a perfect fit. Now, the way Al Pacino played that role, I'm trying to vision him playing it. I don't know how I feel about it. We'll have to see. Now, they don't say exactly when they're going to start production on this, but they're looking for something to come out in 2019. We'll have to see. I just don't know how I feel. Once I know who's going to play the lead, who's going to play the character, of course, that, Michelle Pfeiffer played, and of course, his right kick side guy, then we'll kind of see, and I can maybe get behind it. So you all comment and tell me what you all think about this particular one. I know I talk about the other stuff, but I know Scarface is a fan favorite, and I'm really want to know how you all feel about the remake of Possibility. And of course, being that Antoine Fuqua is at the helm, does that change your mind? Are you considering being down with it? Just let me know how you guys feel about that, because I don't know how I feel about it. All right, another reboot. We're doing reboots, guys. I swear, it's just so many things that they're trying to remake, whichever. So, The Grudge is being rebooted. Iron Woman Insidious star Lin Shaye is at the helm of this, and I'm actually excited because I did like the original Grudge. Now, granted, it was a Japanese one made previously, but then they actually did the one in 2004 starring Sarah Michelle Gellar, which was done very good. Grudge 2 was not. I did not like that at all. There was no point, but you already know, as soon as the first one does good, they're all on a gravy train with the money that can be made, and they continue. The storyline was just not well done. Now, she's at the helm. I don't know who else is really casted as of right now. She is the lead on this, and seeing that she was in the last Insidious 4, The Last Key, I went and saw that. I did a review here. It was done very well. It was some moments that were, creepy. Scary movies lately, all this stuff is jump scares, but, it is what it is. I'm not scared very easily anymore, so, I kind of went with the storyline because it was kind of like some sort of a, opening for it to move on, which they could consider doing another Insidious, and I said that. So we'll have to see how that pans out. I'm down for this. I'm hoping that the script is good. Sam Raimi is attached. He knows the people who are actually writing the screenplay and the screenwriting for this particular movie, so he has confidence that it can be a very well told story, reimagining of it, being that it was done originally in 2004 for the American version. So fingers crossed. I look forward to seeing who else is casted, and I'm looking forward to seeing some sort of teaser trailer for it as well, and then hopefully that'll get me on board so much so that I'll be excited to actually watch it. So with that said, moving on. And then I have one last thing. Now, if you all were under a rock, you should have known that Deadpool dropped The trailer dropped on Thursday, and with that, we got to see some new people that are going to be coming to the helm. And I have a picture up out there. If you see it, it's supposed to be for the X Force. Now, I'm excited because I'm excited just for Deadpool 2 anyway. The trailer was hilarious. I am a fan of Ryan Reynolds. He's the only one who could have played Wade Wilson and do Deadpool. And I think they did the best thing. Even though it took them years, as he put it, he said in many interviews, to get this out there, and do it the way they wanted to do it, that it did so well with the first one that they had to do a second one. I mean, really had to do a second one. And they did some test screenings of it, and just out the park. Because at first, some rumors that came out that some test screens were done previously. A lot of people didn't like it by that. So when this most recent ones in the last couple weeks came out, everybody loved it. It's awesome. Everybody's just excited for it. I'm included. That trailer on Thursday was so good. I put that baby up and I just posted how I felt about how it's going to be good. And I'm kind of glad that Infinity moved up to April 27th, because I'll be honest with you, even though we know Infinity War is going to probably be number one for a little bit, they're going to give them competition on May 18th, because they're going to have those 3 weeks to do as much as they can, because it's going to bring those numbers down. They still might be number one, but it's going to bring them down, because Deadpool from that trailer looks really awesome. All the teaser trailers he's done for him were hilarious. And with this said, I already told you guys that Zazie Beetz, who plays Domino's in it, Terry Crews is in this. I cannot remember the guy's name at the moment. He was the lead in Stephen King's It. He's also in the cast. Did not know he was a part of this movie. We're going to be introduced some other, people. You have Teenage War Machine. She's going to be in a Sonic Teenage Warhead. She's in the movie again, reprising role. We have Colossus coming back, of course. And of course, just a plethora. And of course, Josh Brolin. He's back. I mean, he's already going to be in Infinity War. This comes out in April. Then we have him coming out as Cable and Deadpool. And then he's also going to be in the movie called Sicario 2, The Day of Soldado. So the brother is busy. He's doing his thing. I'm excited for it. It looks good. And I'm just looking forward to this. They state, of course, May 18th, it comes out. And let me just read this last little bit before I wrap it up. He says, the synopsis for this, and it's kind of funny. After surviving a near-fatal bovine attack, a disfigured cafeteria chef Wade struggles to fulfill his dream of becoming Mayberry's hottest bartender, while also learning to cope with his loss of sense of taste. Searching to regain his spice for life as well as his flux capacitor, Wade must battle ninjas, the Yakuza, and a pack of sexually aggressive canines as he journeys into around the world to discover the importance of his family, his friendship, his flavor, finding a new taste of adventure, and earning the coveted coffee mug title of World's Best Lover. Again, May 18th can't come no faster, and I'm actually excited for it because it's my birthday weekend. I will be here reviewing it. I will be enjoying it because it's a great movie. I know everybody will be out there enjoying it. I'm looking forward to it. Also, one last thing. The director of John Wick, the first one, David Leitch, he's actually the one that actually is directing this. So I definitely have faith for the action scenes, all that in that. So that should be absolutely awesome, you guys. Comment below. Let me know how you feel. Are you excited to see Deadpool 2 as well? How you feel about X-Force, getting their own movie possibly. It's in the works. I don't have anything definite for it just right now, but hopefully they'll let us know more information for their storyline and all the characters we're going to be introduced going forward with them. So with that said, you guys, I appreciate you all listening in, tuning in. Please comment. Let me know what you all think, about all the things that I actually discussed in this movie news this week. For the movie I plan to see next week, I have two possibilities. One called The Titan and another one called Acrimony, starring Taraji P. Henson. Excuse me. So, but with that said, you guys, we always appreciate you guys tuning in, listening in, commenting, share. It's always many, many segments throughout the week. We all love to hear from you guys. The app, WBGR app. Hit us up, on the go. And with that said, I will see you guys next Sunday. You all take care. Have a good rest of the day.